The Pokemon market is out of control. Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Rich Nobody, and I hope y'all are having a blessed day today. So yeah, it's been a while since I've made a long form video, and I'm honestly excited to get back into it. But you may have also noticed, if you've just been following the channel, that I haven't even really made shorts recently. So basically, over the last week, I've been really sick to the point where my voice wasn't really working all that well, so I couldn't really make any videos. But it's alright because we are back now, and we missed a lot, so this video is going to be jam-packed with a lot of stuff. The first thing I want to talk about is the consistency thing just a little bit more. It's very fascinating that like everybody that says how to grow on YouTube, like consistency is key. I didn't realize how true that was until this last week where I wasn't posting anything, because we have been on like a steady growth for the past month and a half or so, and then as soon as my content cut off, like I wasn't posting for a week, everything just flatlined, everything stopped. And I thought that was really interesting. If you do want to end up growing a whole, YouTube channel and stuff like this, like if you want to do Pokemon with like, YouTube stuff, because social media is big, if you want to do like a Pokemon business, whatever, consistency truly is key. Like if you can try to upload as often as possible, as consistently as possible, you'll be fine. But yeah, that was interesting to point out. Let's go ahead and get through like a little bit of a market recap, because again, gone for a week in this kind of market of Pokemon, you miss a lot of things. So let's just go ahead and go through with this. We had the Drowsy card from Scarlet and Violet base absolutely explode. I think it went from around $20-$30 to like 80, and I think it dropped back down to like 60, but $80, like a 400% increase on that card, is absolutely insane, especially because in my last PSA submission that is still currently being processed, we'll get to that in a little bit, but I actually have a Drowsy in that submission, and I wasn't expecting it to like do much of anything. I was just like, yeah, cool card, it's worth a little bit, maybe I can sell it later, who knows. But now I'm like, yeah, I really have to sell this, because looking at that card in a PSA 10, I mean, wow, that's just insane. Next up was a little bit of a surprise to me. I didn't even know this card existed. It's called the Baxcalibur. It's the illustration rare. That card exploded too. I think it went from like $10 to like over 50 or something. It went up and then back down super fast. I can't even remember. But that card this last week has gone absolutely insane. So if you manage to, have that card and you happen to sell it this last week, congratulations, you made a good profit. But I don't think it's going to be staying at that price for very long. So if you haven't sold it yet, I would suggest cashing in your profits now before it gets worse. Next up, the Magikarp illustration rare from Paldea Evolved, the big one. It's been continuing to rise, actually, which is very surprising to me. I mean, it is a beautiful card, but I feel like it is a very expensive card to pick up right now, and the fact that it's still rising really surprises me. I didn't expect this card to continue going up. You never know, I guess, in these days. And then the last one I guess we can go ahead and touch on here is the Slowpoke illustration rare. I think that one was from Scarlet and Violet base too. That like doubled in price. I think it was like $8 or so a few months ago, and then in the last 3 or so months it's been like kind of around the $20 mark. Then it just jumped up to like 40 for no reason, and I think it's still actually sitting there right now. I think it rose recently, so who knows, it could just be a major buyout. But I have noticed a lot of these illustration rares from the early Scarlet and Violet sets have started to skyrocket just because of the quality of the cards. It's really hard to get a 10, so the prices of like near mint and everything has skyrocketed because of the whole grading plays. So for all we know, these illustration rares from the early Scarlet and Violet era could be a major play if some of them haven't quite risen up yet. But yeah, a huge market recap will be coming in a future video. I just kind of wanted to talk about what we missed over this last week. We'll do like a whole like February, March market recap sometime soon. I'm not too sure, but I wanted to go ahead and move on to our next topic here, which is Pokemon Day, which it happened a couple days ago. So happy late Pokemon Day to everybody. But we had a lot of crazy reveals in this Pokemon Day like preview, I guess, on YouTube, because there was the whole live stream thing. Main one I want to talk about the Pokemon Day preview thing was the Mega Evolution cards that got revealed. We knew we were going to be getting Mega Evolutions cards, later this year, it's just been confirmed, but we got to see some of the cards firsthand today. Not today, it was Thursday. I'm not thinking very well, but I don't really like the way they look. Now, this could be an unpopular opinion, but these Mega Evolution cards just look like regular EX cards with the, Mega in the name. I guess, they could still be good for like, the people that actually play the TCG. I noticed that there were a couple different, things that you could do with Mega Evolution cards. But as somebody who likes to collect cards because of the way that they look and stuff, I'm kind of disappointed because I actually have a lot of the Mega Evolution cards from the XY era, and I really love the way those cards looked because the regular EX would have that like tiny, rectangle of like the artwork of the Pokemon, and then the Mega would be like a slightly bigger rectangle, more like a square of the artwork, so there was more artwork to be had on the Mega Evolution cards. These Mega Evolution cards just look like regular EXs, so there's less artwork on the art, which I find quite disappointing. Plus, there's this whole like yellow font on the names. I get that like it's supposed to make it look different from a regular EX, but I don't like the yellow on the cards. I was completely fine with yellow borders, but yellow text, I don't think it works out very well. I think they should have kept the text the same as it was, maybe just do something else. Give us some more artwork maybe. I don't get why we had to change the text color to yellow. That didn't make any sense to me. But even though the cards in the Pokemon Day reveal were kind of disappointing, I was actually kind of excited about the Pokemon Champions game where you could like play with people from other areas of Pokemon games like together. I thought that was kind of cool. It's not really Pokemon card related, but I just thought it was something I could touch on. Pretty excited about it. But the next thing that I want to touch on is a short actually that I posted a while back where it was like I'm buying 1,000 Pokemon cards, and in the video I explained that I wanted to buy 1,000 Ditto cards. So I posted that short a while back, and I've actually started collecting some Ditto cards. I have a short going out later. I don't know when this video is coming up. I'm mass producing videos this weekend, so I have no clue when the scheduling is going to work out for these, but I have a short coming out soon where it's going to be talking about my current update on how many Ditto cards I've collected. I think the current total is like 38 that I've collected, which nowhere near 1,000, but we have to start somewhere, and I have more on the way. I think we've got around 50 that we just, haven't gotten yet, so that's all waiting. But I was thinking about it recently, like there's a lot of strange world records out there, and I know that there are some out there where it's like world's largest Pikachu collection or world's largest, just general Pokemon collection. What if I could potentially get like a world record Ditto collection? I don't know if Guinness World Records would actually allow that to happen, but if they would allow it to happen, I would very much like that to be for me. Given how I love Ditto so much, having the world's largest Ditto collection, I think that would be pretty cool to do. So I'll start looking into it, and if it seems doable, you best know I'm gonna be doing this. But with that update aside, let's go ahead and move on to the next big reveal that we had this last week, which was the Prismatic Evolutions Premium Collection box. Now, I'm actually really excited about this box because it's coming with, I think, 15 Prismatic Evolutions packs, and even though this thing is going to be extremely hard to find, if you do find it like out in retail, which sounds like a dream nowadays, they're only retailing for about $100, and 15 packs for $100, especially with Prismatic Evolutions, I think that's a pretty good deal. So I'm most definitely going to be looking out for that box whenever the time comes, and if you ever find it out in the wild, I think as long as you can afford it, you should most definitely pick it up, because in terms of like valuation, you're getting a very good deal with how many packs you're getting. And plus there's like custom sleeves in there. There's the EV deck box. I think there might be a playmat in there. I could be wrong. I can't exactly remember, but there's a lot of stuff in this box. It's not just packs. But snapping back to reality, I think it's going to be really hard to find this box, so maybe I should just try and leave it to my dreams and not to reality. So we'll just see how it goes. The next thing I wanted to talk about is GameStop because they've been in the news recently for, you know, a bunch of Pokemon related stuff. And one of the main things is that they stopped doing Pokemon pre-orders, which I thought was very interesting. Because like, I get that it's really hard to find Pokemon, especially from like distro access. And I know that GameStop has started to move away from distro access and buying from like local card shops and from, you know, buying collections off of people, and they're starting to sell it in their store for like market price. They're starting to become more like an actual card shop instead of, you know, a GameStop, which I guess is some sort of strategy to keep their business alive, since people don't really go out to GameStop to buy games anymore. You can just kind of like download them on whatever, you know, system you have. But stopping pre-orders just seems really weird to me. Like, they could have just, you know, kept limits on things, and they could have tried to find a way to just get more product, which, you know, everyone's trying to do nowadays. But legitimately, like, you know, since they are a brick and mortar business that is franchised, they probably have more success in trying to find more product than other smaller or, you know, individual businesses. That's just my take. I have no clue if that's actually how it works. Y'all could let me know down in the comments. But to be honest, GameStop wasn't even on my mind when it came to looking for Pokemon cards. And now in this current market, GameStop is actually one of the top 5, maybe top 10 places that I even look for Pokemon cards now. They've really cemented themselves in this whole Pokemon business. So canceling something as big as pre-orders, I don't know how good of an idea that's going to be. Could just be unavoidable for their whole business strategy with not being able to get product or whatever. So last thing I want to touch on is something that I just mentioned a little bit earlier, was the whole PSA backlog. I was saying how I had the whole Drowsy card and it was, you know, going to PSA to get graded. I haven't even gotten word that this PSA grading submission has even made it to PSA yet, and I submitted this thing back in literally a month ago. It was the 1st of February that I sent it through. So I'm just getting a little worried, like, when am I actually going to get these cards? Because I'm starting to see that PSA is getting a huge backlog of all these cards coming in, and it's no longer just like a month like what we were all expecting. It's now turning into like 2, 3, 4 months of just backlog, and that kind of worries me. I know back during like the COVID era, there was the whole PSA having a year-long backlog, but I didn't get to experience that. I'm getting to experience like a month-long wait. So having to wait longer than a month is starting to worry me, because I'm the type of person that I don't really like giving people something to hold on to that I consider valuable for a long period of time. So having it out of my possession for this long is just really making me rethink, like, should I have sent these in now? But that's just me worrying about things. You know, it's whatever. We'll probably end up getting it back. I did send it through GameStop, and some people are like, oh, GameStop's gonna steal your cards. I don't know at this point. Maybe they will. Maybe the person that's bringing the cards back to GameStop is gonna steal them. At this point, everybody's stealing cards. It's a terrible, you know, thing that we've got going on in the hobby right now. It's not looking good. But I think that's going to do it for my first long form back. I hope y'all enjoyed. We're going to be having a lot more long forms coming out very, very soon. I've got a couple more to record today because, like I said, I've got a lot of recordings to do this weekend because there's a lot that I missed. So if y'all are excited to see some more long forms coming out later this week, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so that you know when these videos actually come out. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all for this video. We'll catch y'all in the next one.